All right, guys, go ahead and get started. We finished kind of a special situation practice today. Special emphasis on situations, both offense, defense, end of the game, some special teams. We got some good UMass work in today. We'll have a mock game tomorrow night under the lights, get our opportunity to practice here in the stadium under the lights. Day off on Saturday, and that's game week. It's amazing how fast it's coming. I really have continued to like the way that this team has worked. They've really maintained a high attitude throughout all of training camp, even when it was kind of in the dark days there in the middle and they're sore and tired. They've been a lot of fun to be around, and they've shown up to work every single day. The challenge is to get guys to show up and be disciplined and be able to consistently execute their job, in those situations when they're feeling tired and it's getting hot. But I saw a lot of improvement with certain individuals and units with those conditions, so I'm really pleased with that. But we got a lot of work to do here in the next 6-7 days before the foot hits the ball. But we continue to show up and work and get better, and that's what we can ask, all we can ask for at this moment. So if you guys want, go ahead and answer any questions you have.
Do you know who's to be the starting quarterback next week?
No.
When do you anticipate the decision?
Whenever, like I've said before, whenever we feel like it's the right thing to do. It's obviously a big decision, and we're going to make sure that we make the right decision. And there's no set timetable or anything like that. We'll evaluate today. We'll evaluate the mock game tomorrow, and every day we have conversations about where guys are at. And I can tell you this: I've had a lot of fun here, especially in the last 2 weeks, watching our quarterback unit compete. I can tell you right now, the unit overall is the strongest it's been since I've been here, and that I can tell you. And I like the chemistry in that room. I like the focus in that room. I like the competition to come out and push each other every single day at practice, and I've really enjoyed watching that. At some point we'll get to the spot where we have to name a starter, but today is not that day yet.
Have there been any new developments in that race since we last talked to you?
No.
Still kind of neck and neck?
It's really two guys, and then Johnny's been thrown in the mix. Johnny's behind because we didn't practice him a lot with the first and second team offense because we didn't know if he was going to be eligible or not. So he's really just catching up. But like I said, it's just been fun watching that whole unit compete and improve and run the offense and just really finding out who's going to be the leader, so to speak, because that's as important as anything. Who are the players going to rally around, and who's going to be able to lead the troops, so to speak. And there's a lot that goes into it, and we're just not in any rush to get that done. No. Something would have to go awry for that to happen.
Could you see playing ball?
There's not. Again, I said this I think a week ago. There's nothing off the table. We want to name a starting quarterback. That's our starting quarterback, and let him go play. Will there be multiple quarterbacks that potentially play in game 1, game 2, game 3? Yeah, absolutely. There's always that scenario. But we're going to name a starter that is our starter. But there could be multiple quarterbacks that play.
Starter the other day for media availability. Could you at any point just say I don't want to name a starter just from a competitive standpoint?
I know the media and the fans want to know who the starting quarterback is. But I'm just going to look at what is best for our team in terms of game 1. And I'm not going to say we're not going to name one, or we are. We're going to just take our time, take a deep breath, continue to evaluate the situation. We had a lot of time to evaluate it, but we want to take a little bit more time. Again, I told you it's an important decision. We want to make sure we do what's right.
With a couple wide receivers dinged up, how comfortable are you with the depth at that position?
Really, Montario Hunt's the only one that's dinged up that we're going to miss for the season. Everybody else has been practicing on and off throughout the course of training camp and have been out here for a long period of time. And a few guys here and there, missed some days, but that's just the nature of the position in training camp. There's a lot of running, a lot of stress on their soft tissues and in their lower body. But overall, the unit's fairly healthy for as much as we practice.
And say you had 5 more practices, hypothetically, what are some things that you would work on more?
Well, good thing is we do got 5 more.
Well, I mean, like training camp, not game week.
We got to work on everything. We're not game ready on anything, and I would assume that most people are in that situation right now. The preparation continues until a foot hits the ball, and then it turns into a game of adjustments. And we're going to use every minute, every second we have, all the way up until kickoff, to continue to prepare this team in all areas. First, second down, third down, all the situations that could come up within a game, both with offense, defense, and special teams. Yeah, Kamal got a day off yesterday and today from just some heat. The guy's 320 pounds and it's been hot for a couple days, but Kamal's doing fine.
One sort of familiar with that you can play left tackle, right tackle, left guard. He started that last year. Is he basically your sixth guy?
I don't know if he's a sixth guy, but he is probably the most versatile guy. Like you said, he could probably play tackle and guard on either side of the line if needed. And we'll see how the season goes. At some point, he'll probably play all spots. But right now we have some guys that are in the backup positions that we feel really good about. But it is nice knowing that we've got a guy there that has played all positions and has played quite a bit. On game day that we could put in when needed.
Keep snapping. I know Housen's your backup guy. So, but if where are you from a philosophy standpoint? If something was to go down during the game, would you want it Fineski at your center and disrupt your line? I mean,
you're really going to look at what's the next best option. It's not who's on the depth chart; it's the next best option. And in this day and age, with offensive linemen, it's tough to say you're going to have 10 offensive linemen that are going to be game ready. So, you really try to get 3 on the left, 3 on the right, and 2 guys that can snap. We really want to have the majority of all of our guards and centers know how to snap in case of an emergency. The good thing is Vineski is an emergency option. Between the 3 guys that have been working at center, and Vineski is an option. We've gotten C.J. Hansen, a young guy, some work also in there snapping. So we're going to feel hopefully good about 4 or 5 guys that we could put in there if we needed to. Hopefully we don't. But if we needed to, they could go in and snap and operate the offense.
Having Johnny eligible, has that changed how you guys approach the scheme, game plan drastically now that you kind of have that certainty? No, it hasn't. Johnny was here all spring. We did things with Johnny within our offense, and that's no different than where we are right now. He wasn't practicing with our 1s and 2s for the majority of camp just because of the uncertainty. In the spring, he got a ton of reps. Just one, McLean Carter wasn't here, so out of sheer depth, he had to play in the spring. So Johnny is a very smart, competitive kid. He knows what we're asking him to do. So he's got to knock off some of the rust, but he mentally knows what we're asking him to do, and he's done a really good job in there so far.
Take 2 more questions.
Coming on training camp, are you confident? What's your confidence level that this team's going to be better? I mean, I know we asked you at the start of training camp, you asked me in Chicago. Coming on training camp, what's your confidence level that this team's going to be better?
You're going to ask me one more time.
Probably. I probably asked you again Monday.
And probably next, what it would be, Wednesday?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm totally confident. But again, the proof is, in the pudding, so to speak, of what happens on the game field through our practice preparation, our meetings, and just overall the team in the last 6 months. I feel really good about our football team and where we're at. I've said a few times, I think it's the deepest that we've been on our football team. I think this is the most team speed that we've had on our football team. And it's not across the board, but with more positions than what we've had. And again, what's that going to translate into? We'll find out as we go through the season. But I'm completely confident right now that this team is better than what we've been in the last couple years at this point.
What kind of advice do you give the players getting ready to make their first starts or see their first action on the development?
Well, we want to get them a lot of reps, obviously, out here, game reps and mental reps. Do a great job of going through as many different things as we can with them. But then at the end of the day, when the lights are on and the ball snap, they got to resort back to their training. And what happens is they just got to stay calm, cool and collective, and not let all the things on game day distract them, and be able to focus in on the things that we've trained them to do throughout the course of practice. And that's really it. And they get better as they play. Somebody that will start next Friday for the first time, hopefully by the end of the season, they're a lot better player just because they've managed the situation in the moment better.